warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm from Group 6 and my name is Aldhi Hidayat and I am going to presentation about Samba configuration with Linux Ubuntu. Okay, next slide. What is Samba? The first definition is Samba is a file sharing protocol to compete with the existing protocol. No files effects based. So the second definition is Samba is the first file sharing and printing sharing protocol that can run on multiple protocols, TCP or IP, NetBEUI, IPX, and SPX. So next slide. What is difference between Samba and FTP? FTP is one the earliest Internet protocol developed and is still used today for the process of downloading or uploading data from FTP server and FTP clients. Samba is a service. Samba protocol allows Linux or Unix server to communicate with client machine using Windows OS in a single network to stop data exchange between Windows and Linux. Okay, next slide. Function of Samba. First, connects between Linux machine with Windows machine as software. There are quite a few functions that can be performed by Samba software, ranging from bridging file sharing, device sharing, PDC, firewall, and DHCP, as well as gateway, mail, proxy, and so on. The second function, Samba PDC aims at computer that will validate user for each client who will join a particular domain. In other words, only registered users are allowed to enter the domain and access all provide domain facilities. So, and and as and the function of Samba the third is as a domain control on a Windows network. Okay, next slide. What is difference between SMBD and NMBD? SMBD is a daemon that actually handles file system and printer sharing service for client. When a client authenticates, SMBD will create a duplicate of itself. The original part will return to port 139 to send for new requests, and the duplicate part handles the connection to the client. This duplicate also changes its effective user ID from root to authenticate user. And MBD is is a daemon responsible for handling NetBIOS name server request. It will listen to port 137 unlike SMBD. doesn't an MBD doesn't duplicate itself to handle every query. Okay, next slide. Okay. Advantage Samba. The first, free. The second, available for various platforms. The third, easy to configure by administrator. Easy to configure according to administrator request. Oh, the five is already connected directly to the network and rarely encountered problems in using it on the network. The six, reliable because error rarely occur. 7, have maximum performance. Okay, next slide. Disaf- Disadvantage of Samba. IP proxy doesn't have fast connection and can suddenly slow down even timeout ends. Second, every time you want to change IP, you have to look for IP ports on sites that provide free proxy, and this is a bit of waste of time. Okay, next slide. Let's go to the terminal. Okay, uh, in here, okay, the first, the first we run Linux Ubuntu that already has Samba configuration using VirtualBox. After that, the next step is the next step is we open network and sharing center. Then we open change adapter setting. Then we open VirtualBox host only. So we open properties. So we open internet protocols and we change from the obtain an IP address automatically. So we change to use the following IP address. So we enter the IP address according to the IP address in Ubuntu. If if don't if we don't know what the IP address in Ubuntu, we can check the IP in Ubuntu by using command ifconfig. in here will appear the IP address. Okay, after we know the IP address, okay, after we know the IP address, so we enter the IP address uh 192.168.24.3. So the subnet max is uh 255.255.255.0. The default gateway, so we enter 192.168.24.1. So we choose OK. So we choose yes. So we choose OK. So because so after that we open the file explorer or Windows Explorer. So we open network in here. So in here we enter the IP address server one size double size 192.168.24.2. So we enter. So in here will appear the folder that we sharing on Linux by Samba. In here the folder is rahasia. Okay. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. I apologize if there are wrong in my presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.